All right, and we are live. So I'm just gonna be playing this game. This is Manor Lords. It's a really amazing new. It's indie. It's made by one guy. It's been people have been waiting for it for a long time. I have been personally. Anybody that likes city builder games, which I do quite a bit, is has been waiting for this for a long time, and it's so far it's pretty good. It's early access. It's still getting polished, but it is great. So in my Telegram, I dropped the StreamYard link for anybody to join in because I think John Cinder had asked about that, and I think that's a good idea. And you're welcome to do that if you're on the Telegram. If not, get in there, get on the Discord. Oh God. Smeagol. What's up, Smeagol? Thanks, brother. I guess I am playing video games. But yeah, I'm just gonna play the game. We're gonna start here. What else I want to say about this? Oh, I need to make sure that you guys can hear me, that the audio is good between the two of them. Can you guys hear the audio of the game? I might have not turned it on. Let me know if you can hear the audio of the game. Actually, I'll stop share. I'll just make sure. Always allowed, Smeagol. Yeah, I forgot to share the audio. Okay, here we go. I got Tiger Blood. Making money too, man. I gotta. Audio. Okay, here we go. Making money. Oh, I got Tiger Blood. That is going to give you guys a little bit of feedback. I'm already aware of that, but there's a delay. Sorry, that is not the first time that's happened. I forgot too, man. I got a particular making money. Oh, adapter. Oh, and it's coming back into me too. I'm so bad at the tech, boys. So bad at the tech. But I think I got it figured out. So tell me if you can hear the audio in the game. You can't hear the game. Thank you, Smeagol. I appreciate that. Even though you hate what I'm doing, you should be able to hear it now, though. So can you tell me if you can hear it now? In the meantime, I'm gonna start this because if I don't get the start I want. Thank you, Smeagol. And how's the audio versus my talking audio and mic quality? Ooh, I gotta drop this in the Discord too. Yeah, join the Discord. Link should be below. Is below, we'll say. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. All right. So start here. That audio's not. That is going pretty slow there. I think I might have to turn down the. I'm just gonna go to the task manager. I'm gonna put a thing below like I always do. Okay. Steam. Oh. I'm gonna end Discord. In NordVPN. What the heck? I think it's all the. That's what I'll do. You sound like shit, but it's not your audio. Okay. Yeah, that was somebody said that on YouTube. That was so funny. Yeah, I suck. Let's just shut all this stuff off. I gotta remember it. Well, I'll remember that I shut them all off. Okay, not really sure that helped, but that's all right. Oh my God, hi JC, what's up? I think I need to refresh this computer. Should be okay now. I'll lower the quality if I need to. Broke ass OG Baldur's Gate. No, it's a city builder game. It's different than Baldur's Gate. Let's start. I'm gonna restart again. I'm gonna keep going. Always this guy. Always get that iron cross on there. Looks dope. Storing the piece. This game has combat elements, but I'm not really gonna play them. It's more of the city builder thing. I got my sheets. So what I'm looking for is, oh, well, that's fine. So the little crown above those resources shows when it's when they're like a mega resource, they provide you more resources, and I want them on the berry bush and the meat. Just how I want. Or I guess I go with one or the other. Both, but the other one needs to be mining. So I'm just going to keep going back in until I get what I want. It's not how it was intended. I don't care. I'm not a serious gamer. Never have been. That's probably why I'm playing city builder games. JC, do you like video games? What do you like to play, man? Oh, maybe we'll stay here because there's also fertility. Yeah, we'll stay here. That'll do, pig. Yeah, I'm gonna lower the... I'm on my laptop right now, so it's not as good as... I don't know what some of these things mean, so... Terrain texture resolution, I guess we can make that one. If I was on my desktop, it would be great, but I'm not. This will do. These clans. So this is my land, and you can colonize these other ones around you. Not at first, though. So first, I'm just going to pause that. I'm going to look at my time. I'm going to mark that. Oh, the Discord link is not down below. I'm just going to add that to the thing. I love Civ, man. Yeah, these are the types of games that I play. And just keep one foreign city alive, basically, just to mog them. That's awesome. Keep them at a lower, like, were they at a high technology, or were you, like, you know, in space age and they're knights? I put some music that I recorded on the Discord. I had a banjo player come out, and I recorded music with him, some classic Americana stuff. And I talked to him as well for the podcast, but I was sick during it, so I don't think I did a good job, and I puked during the interview, which I have on video. I won't put it in the final episode, but it will be on 5 Till Midnight. Shout out 5 Till Midnight. It's the other podcast I do with the boys. Keeps me sane. I play a character on there. Somewhat, you know, I act pretty goofy. It's not like this. Lowest level development. Love that, man. I actually did a in What did I just do? Oh, switch the layout. I actually, in high school, my favorite high school project that I did was I did a history project with Civilization. Like I demonstrated different, like a city with no resources. I don't remember what the assignment was exactly, but a city with no resources, like surrounded by mountains and stuff. The teacher loved it because he played Civ, and it was honors history. So there were some nerds in there. People really enjoyed it. I remember them enjoying it. I enjoyed making it at least. Okay. Keep them at the lowest level of development. Alrighty. Anybody else in the? I see a few more watchers. If you're not in the comments, no big deal. But let me know if you're here. I'd like to hear from you. I don't have any other friends, so JC is my only friend. JC, what are you doing today, brother? Are you working today? You doing some house stuff? I'm about to. I need to finish up the remodel of both my bathrooms. One of them just needs like some finishing touches. The other one, I need to reglaze the tub. I took out the old tile. It was like 1969 old ass tile, like that terrible light blue color. And I took that tile out and put in some nice new tile. Not nice tile, but like standard white tile. It's going to be a rental house, so it's all about the what's it called? It's all about the like having it good for a while. I love remodeling, man. I learned it all on YouTube. Did a lot of yard work. I don't know if you've seen pictures of my perennial garden, but it's massive. It's a bit of an art project as well. As in like, I made it like winding, and I have stuff in there. I made roundabouts with rhododendron bushes, which I thought was pretty cool. And roundabouts with rhododendron bushes, and there's a boxing. I made a boxing thing with it. Like I put in the. I gotta lower the quality again. A lot from YouTube videos. Yeah, it's a bit hard because I have basic tool experience, and I worked in a motor pool for a long time. Mostly doing like logistics stuff though, but I know tools. But a lot of that stuff had a pretty high learning curve, and you don't want to make mistakes and waste expensive product, which I've done, not that often, but it does take a lot. It's a lot. I know that people know that it's a lot, but it's a lot. Maybe if I turn on anti-aliasing. I don't know what 3D resolution scale is, but I'm just doing whatever to... That's better. Looks fine to me. I love YouTube in every sense. I love being on here. I love watching videos. I love people creating just as a thing that they do. Love it. Yeah, on the Patreon, $2. You got that Freddy Badger playing music. There's some other videos on there. Once I put more on, I'll up the price. But if you get in at $2, you're grandfathered in. I appreciate the early support, especially when I haven't put the episodes come out early. They're unedited, and nobody requests anything, but you could. Really, I guess at this point, I'm just asking for ideas since I don't have them. But there's also a couple conversations on there that I couldn't put on YouTube. One of them, the most recent one, was with Neobacterian Basil, who's a really interesting guy, friend of mine. Really enjoy him. He's one of the funniest guys I know. He's gay, as in like he he's celibate, so like he doesn't have sex, but he's gay and he has in the past had sex with guys, but he's all against like what he calls gay TM. I won't even. My episode with him has a bunch of great stuff in it on the podcast feed. But if you want to hear us talking about the Decepticon question, that's on the Patreon because I was a little scared to put it on YouTube. Sometimes it seems a lot easier watching an experienced person do it, like watching Bob Ross painting. Yeah, I have this great guy that he's up in Canada, I think, in Ontario. There's a little bit difference in some of the products, but most of it's the same. And North American building techniques are essentially the same in most regions. Ontario, I live near Ontario, relatively. Like I'm from New England, so it's right there, which is nice. So it's the same stuff, and I've learned. I go to him most of the times. He has everything that I need, and he's very clear about it, and he's very good at communicating that to people, which is a massive skill to have. Makes it very easy, and so he's where I learned most of it from. And I was able to remodel 2 bathrooms and a kitchen essentially on my own. I paid a guy to do some of the flooring, but maybe I shouldn't have. I've done flooring since then. I know how to do it. It's just, that was the only thing I tasked out. I did more difficult things though, but whatever. Okay. Flooring is surprisingly tough on the back. Yeah, it is, and I have some back issues, so it's a bit rough for me. But I never. It's not like I do it as a business. I'm not doing it all the time, so it's like it's whatever. It doesn't bother me too much. Even the knees with knee pads. Yeah. I would only do it a few days at a time, but I wouldn't want to be doing that as a job. That's a lot. Oops. I never know how I do that. Okay, so I'm going to not plant, but I'm going to make a food gathering. Make a hunting camp over here. And that's going to hunt these animals. That's going to give me hides and meat. Figure out where I'm going to put my actual city. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to check the fertility. Yeah, so this is a good place then. This has no fertility, but I've got good fertility on, I don't know why it does this, but emmer is wheat. Down there. So the fertility is great in this whole area. I'm not going to ruin anything. So yeah, I'm going to put the village around here. Actually, I like to put it around the King's Road because that's like where the trade happens. Let them go, and the foreign traders, they'll come in and they'll just trade along the thing. It sucked doing this stuff when I was a lazy teenager, but now it feels so much easier. Yeah, I don't know. I really personally, it's really fulfilling with the skills I've learned. Like if I need some money, doing side work, I think would be generally decent to get. Like, I think I could get it with some of the experience I have. I might end up eventually, if some of my other business stuff doesn't do well while I'm growing the podcast to higher revenue, then I'm gonna maybe do some freelance video work, which I'm totally qualified to do now, which is awesome. It's kind of crazy, like what you can learn on your own. I think in the modern world we consider it so much of like these these paths that are so regimented. Like you get this certification, you get this job, but like things don't really work like that. Real world, real skills, knowing how to do things is much more important than any piece of paper. And I say that as somebody with 3 bachelor's degrees. And I don't officially use any of them, although obviously the degrees are education, history, and anthropology, which I use every day. But in an intangible sense, if I didn't have those degrees, but I learned all that knowledge anyway, that it would be just the same. So that's the Earl. So eventually we'll fight him, but he won't attack us until we attack him. So, and I'm not going to concentrate on that. Okay, so what do you... JC, this is a good question. Oops. I'm just going to replace that battery. What do you think about finding a balance between internal harmony, isolationism, and global trade? Seems like both extremes aren't sustainable. I mean, the thing is that no societal... There's nothing societal that is really sustainable over the long period. The social constructs is in like the... as in like institutions. I mean, they're created in a certain context, and they can change a little bit, and they can mend, and but they have that original character. And at a certain point, they all go away. They're gone, and they don't come back eventually. And then they'll have spiritual successors and whatever, like the Holy Roman Empire or the Ottoman Empire after the Roman Empire as successors. That type of thing, and those elements will be instilled in those new creations. But it worked out for China for a long time. I assume this is in reference to this thread that I just did, which I might turn into a YouTube video. I think I'm going to give that a try. What's up, Forbidden Intro? How you doing, brother? Anthro. But yeah, that was a really fun thread that I wrote. I enjoyed writing that a lot. It was on the treasure fleets of China and what they did. And do you think it's more of a matter of being willing to adjust at the moment to emerging circumstances? I mean, so the thing is that if a culture is designed in order to change in emerging circumstances, there's an element of them being too open to change. And when something's too open to change, then it's not resilient enough. So it's always a balance of being able to adjust to new circumstances and being too rigid. Yeah, I think you're right, Forbidden Anther. Thank you. I appreciate you reading that thread, brother. It's something that I really liked, and I'm enjoying trying to write more like... I don't know what style I would call it, but trying to write in a more like fanciful style. Does that work? What was I saying? Willing to adjust to the moment. Yeah, like they need to have both of those elements. They need to have be able to bend but not break. Like, think about it like a steel rod. If it's too bendable, you can just form it into whatever shape you need, or any type of rod. You can't do that with a steel rod. If it's too hard, you can't bend it at all, or it'll break. Maybe a piece of wood is better. Like, if you have a fresh sapling, you can mend it kind of wherever you want. But if you have an old dead stick, you can just snap it. It won't bend. So things need to be balanced. They need to be able to blend. The Chinese isolationism wasn't necessarily isolationism. It was just they had a regimented way in dealing with the people around them based upon them being spiritually the center of the world. So they would, when they interacted with the English, they were perfectly willing to interact with the English, but they wanted to do it on their own terms. And that's explained in the letter that I posted the screenshots of in that thread on the whatever it was called, the Zheng He treasure fleet. They just wanted to do it on their terms, and the English wanted to change those terms and get essentially preferential treatment in the culture of China. But they weren't willing to use these outside technologies because this was... So they were trading with other people, but they didn't want these finished goods from England. They didn't view finished goods from somewhere else. They made all of their own finished goods. They needed anything, or that's all they needed. Because of that, they didn't want the goods being produced in England. There was also an element of a trade imbalance here, which is why England had such an issue with them in the first place. Because England had a massive trade imbalance. A lot of people don't realize, but into the early modern era and the medieval era, the Europeans were aware of China. The high class in Europe loved Chinese goods. And this carried down as the early modern era, as the merchant class, as people start becoming wealthier in Europe, to more and more people wanting these Chinese goods. So it creates this trade imbalance because all of this gold and silver and wealth is exiting Europe for China. And Britain wants to correct that. And this is what leads to the Opium Wars. And I'm going to go into that pretty soon here. I'm going to do another thread on that over the next few days. Yeah, I'm going to do a standalone video on that same thread. It's only going to be a few minutes long. I'm going to see how that does. I've wanted to do standalone YouTube videos for a while. I just haven't. It's a whole new thing to add, and I've been consolidating. Eventually, I want to hire a video editor. I need to get my own experience with it, and I can't afford it right now. Podcast is growing. Next week, I got JD Sturker on talking about Axios Fitness. I recommend all of you hop in. Got 6 people in the comments. Who's with us here besides Forbidden Anthro and JC? If you don't want to comment, that's totally cool as well, but would love to hear from you. Hear whatever thoughts you have. So I'm making burgage plots here. What's up, Kyle? Kyle Brown? The Giga Chad himself. So these are housing plots. I really enjoy this feature of the game. The housing plots can be made different sizes. So I'm making like 4 houses right now, and there's here's like a hitching post. They can be made different sizes, and the backyard plots, which can have a number of different resources in them, which I'll show you in a moment, can be made different sizes as well. And then different resources can be selected. So I'm going to make the backyard plots as small as possible because I'm trying to make the center of the town right now. This is going to be the center. So right there, I'm going to make 4 houses. Oh, should have made a 5th one. That's all right. Make roads. Roads are free. Hunting camp is getting me hides and meat, which we're going to turn into leather, which is a finished good that they need. Logging camp's getting me logs. This is going to cut firewood. They have 2 different buildings for that, which, you know, whatever. Oh, and what I'm going to have to add in here is a forester's hut, which is going to... too steep to build. Which is going to replenish the trees. Whenever they make it. Gonna make a forager hut. I'm gonna add it in there so it gets made. It doesn't cost very much, but I'm not actually going to put anyone in there yet because I don't have a lot of population. Beaver Gang chat going off. Shout out Beaver Gang. Shout out Jay Burden. Let me tell you what I respect about black culture. They're always doing shout-outs. They're always giving people their dues. I love that. I respect that. I don't know if that carries over to, you know, black people in... And when I say I don't know, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying I literally don't know. I don't know if that carries over to black people in, you know, industries like that being maybe culturally more, you know, more cooperative rather than cutthroat in the way that I think of as a lot of traditional like white businessmen that I don't have a lot of respect for that. I like cooperation. I don't like these, you know, really, I don't like people doing nefarious stuff to each other, which you see in a lot of industries. Not my industry. I'm in a very cooperative industry, which is fantastic. Yeah, you got to hype up your boys. You got to hype up your boys. And I see this whenever there's a podcast with like a black guy that comes on it. They're always you know, giving their flowers to people, and I don't see that as much from white people. I'd like to, or and any other race. It's something I've noticed. This is one of those cultural traits, man. Hey, brother, I understand your village is in Central Europe, but you're going to need to populate it with a bunch of Moroccans for economic reasons. Oh, my God. Fantastic. Can't have a zero-sum mentality. Yeah, man. And also, like, the industry that you're in, how you spend your time, you know, it affects you a lot, and it affects you spiritually. So, like, I wouldn't want to be in an industry that didn't actively promote, you know, cooperation over anything else. And so I'm in an industry, which is great for me, that cooperation is good for everybody. I know of people in the podcasting and creation sphere who do take advantage of other people, and they don't have to, and maybe it helps them get ahead, but I don't respect those people for doing that. I really don't like that. I don't want to be around those people. I'm not going to name names, but, you know, just because I don't want to start drama within. I don't want to be one of those people. I watch a lot of the videos about like drama that exists on YouTube. I never want to get into that. Only give me drama with like the PhDs that I screw with. That's all I want. And even then, I've been reconsidering that. There was a lot of negativity surrounding the Flint Dibble thing, and that was a contextual case, but it's not what I want to fill my time with. Got to fill your time with positivity, and that's why I appreciate you guys in the audience so much. Such a great community. Really appreciate all of you being around, hanging out, and being interested in the stuff that I write and create. If you haven't checked out that thread on Twitter, I had a lot of fun writing that Twitter thread about this massive fleet that the Chinese had, the Ming Dynasty, in the 1400s. Like 300 ships, 28,000 men. They went all over Africa, the Middle East. It was amazing. Really cool thing. And I'm going to do a follow-up one on the 19th century in China, which is known as the century of humiliation for them, as it was the time when the Europeans came in and had their way with them like a cheap Bangkok whore. I'm going to make a market plot here, and this is where the villagers are going to get the resources. No, this is a pure Magyar village. No Moroccans allowed. The Reconquista happened in 1492. We don't need that anymore. Actually, in the east, they were still fighting. Up to speed here. I'm gonna make it finish that. I like to overproduce the hitching posts. They don't have any maintenance costs for them, and they're just a one-time cost of buying a whatever that dude's name is. What's that? A bull, I guess. Yeah, a bull. An ox. What the hell is an ox? I know they come from our ox, but is an ox a specific type? Yeah, whatever. No matter. Warehouse and greenery. I forgot what the starting area is, which is where one of my... Yeah, where'd it go? Oh, it's all the way down here. Oops, forgot about this. The starting area has resources and everything, and then a little homeless encampment before you build houses. But it also has the hitching post, which you can move, but I gotta do that. It's got a bunch of supplies that they have to get. Yeah, I need to buy another ox. I shouldn't have moved that yet. Actually, it doesn't matter. Storage is full in the hunting camp. Yeah, because my freaking... The ox is all busy. Okay, so we're going to buy another ox. You can only buy one every 30 days until you get a livestock trading place, which lets you trade it. Resources stolen by bandits. You freaking mother... Bandits down there. Okay, well, I'm going to kill them and I'm going to get some gold. Bull has bits, ox got the snip. Right, okay. So it's, what's that called? Castrated. A castrated bull. That makes sense. I don't know why I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, having that new hitching post really helped. Once this one's made, then I can buy another bull if it's been 30 days. And then these early burgage plots. The vegetable gardens are great, but they're based on the size of the backyard, whereas the chicken coop isn't. So for these, I'm adding chicken coops, which, I should not have bought all those yet. Oh, I made a mistake. That's all right. We'll fix it, Bob Ross. Pax Lumporum. Hello, how you doing, brother? Nice to have you. Are you just hop in here randomly, or are you a listener to the podcast as well? I make like cultural anthropology content, interviews with like Prudentialist and Jay Burden, Bog Beef, Marbleck, and some great people. Really enjoy doing it. It's my favorite thing. Hopefully one day I can rely on it for full income. Ooh, I can't buy any of these yet, so... But I do want... I'm going to add a militia of spearmen. Oh, you know what? I'm going to wait till I have a few more population to do that. I wish we still had aurochs. That's the species that the bulls came from originally. They're extinct in their non-domesticated form. Oh, and there's upgrades too. So in this, you choose different upgrades that you can get based on whatever you have. I'm gonna get this one since I've only recently found you since the pod in X. You mind telling me if you remember where exactly you found me, just so I know, like, where people are coming from? That's a good thing to know. But yeah, glad to have you, brother. I hope you enjoy it. This is really casual compared to my other content. Usually I'm like doing interviews and conversations and stuff, but this is just a hangout thing I'm trying out. I'm a little nervous of it, like, putting out content that like then people maybe will get recommended. That's not the best content that they could have for my stuff. I need fuel. Ooh, they gotta finish that. But I don't know. I don't think it would hurt it that much, especially if I plug at the beginning to try the other thing, to try the other one, or to try the other content. Found you via the algorithm favoring you. Thank you. Many of those content creators. Yeah, that's why I hopped on. If you check out the podcast playlist, it has all the full episodes, and maybe I've had a conversation with somebody that you like in there. If you like the good old boys. I've been on Jay Burden's show, but he hasn't been on mine. I had Meta Prime on. I had the good old boys on once, but I went on theirs twice, I think. They're amazing. Great guys. Absolutely great guys. Really fortunate. Everyone's treated me so well in the community, both the listeners and the very welcoming like podcasters. Even when I was a new podcaster, people were always willing to talk to me and give me a shot. Not always, of course, but even when they're not, it's not like most times it's not like anything nefarious. It's just people are busy. You get like 70,000 followers on Twitter, and your DMs are just a cesspool. Oh, you post memes in the Discord. Thank you. JC is a freaking killer with those memes. He has sent some in there that I have just like, that he makes himself, that have made me just lose my shit. Okay, woodcutter's done. No one's on the forager bush, as there shouldn't be. They're getting the last storage out of there. Then I can delete that. Hunting camp. I'm going to get a few more families. Or, you know what? Maybe it's okay. Oops. You don't want them sprinting. I'll get all tired. When your troops, they leave for this place, unfortunately, they're going to... unfortunately, they're no longer working. So these guys, right after this, I'm going to be getting mercenaries instead because I'll have enough gold. But until then, I have to use my own villagers, and if they die, they die. They get replaced pretty quickly if your whatever it's called is up. Your approval up here. Homelessness. There shouldn't be any homelessness. Is that because I have these guys out here? Whatever. It'll go away if that's why. If not, I'll figure it out. They have open houses. Damn it. Oh no, I might have made a mistake. Dang. Okay. That's a problem. They just had an update on this game. Oh no. Oh well. So they balanced that. Oops. Mistakes were made. That's okay. Bob Ross. So right now I got it on 12x speed. Kind of got to wait for winter to be over. Woodcutter's Lodge. Oh, this is what makes the fuel. That's the Forester's Hut. That's not what I wanted to get. Can't buy. Sun Tzu lived a long time ago. I don't think you can rule out him saying something. Oh, there's 2 bandit camps now. Dang it. They won't fight together, probably. I'll wait till I get more people. I might have really screwed myself up there because that loses my spears. Oh, I still have a few. Estimate that. Yeah, that'll do. Oh my god. They're just stealing my stuff. I made some serious mistakes, but we're just going to roll with it. Another ruler's army was saved. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do then. They're going to come in, and they're going to make the enemies actually attack them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide in and take the camp and get the resources while they're doing that. I'm not gonna bring him out yet, but when it happens. I'm a sneaky, slithery little snake. We have enough timber for now, so we're just going to move this. We're going to move all this stuff over here. We'll probably put this stuff back in the future. But for now, we'll make another one. We'll have a few of them. It'll all be up here, so it's all like in one area. Until then, we're going to leave that road there for us to put all the stuff in there. And we're going to put all the stuff over here when we're ready. And then in the meantime, we're going to bring our resources this way. I'll make another road over here because they're going to have to move. And these can always be deleted later. Moving the logging camp over here. They'll build those. Oops. They're taking a little while. Gotta keep an eye on that. Now's probably a good time to do it. I don't want to screw this up. So I'm gonna try to sneak past them there. So they're moving. We got our guys over here. They're going to drag the enemy out, and then we're going to sneak in the back. Okay. These are really cool. You can actually zoom in a lot. You can zoom in right down, which is such a cool feature. This game's an absolute work of art. These are my villagers. Just the guys, bunch of farmers. Never meaning no harm. Horror, fantasy, sci-fi writers. I enjoy fiction quite a bit, but I just watch a lot of fiction TV, so I don't have a lot of recommendations on that. Somebody else might. JC, do you like fantasy? You want to help out our boy in the comments here? Love you going to a bookstore, man. I'm not in my regular office, obviously, but if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I have a massive book collection. I don't know. I shouldn't say massive, based on the field that I'm in. There's probably people with way larger ones, but you know, I think mine's pretty nice, pretty big. Now we're gonna run. I gotta figure out what the hotkey is for running. Got it. Okay. And now I get to choose. I'm going to bring it to my treasury because I'm going to use that to hire mercenaries. Why the heck are they going that way? They're not attacking me, are they? Uh-oh. Maybe they are. No. Are they going back without attacking the other one? Game looks pretty good, dude. The game's amazing. It's a freaking masterpiece. To get that other bandit camp. And there's another one right there. Okay. Maybe he's going for that one. what I'll do. I'm going to hire some mercenaries now, so I don't have to use my own troops. I have the money for it. We're going to hire the cheapest one, which is that one, because all we're going to use it to do is run in there, basically. We're going to assume that's where he's going.
Yes, sire. Forward.
The wildest niche and anthropology theory I find credible. Well, there's a few, man. It's the wildest one.
Pick up the pace. Yes, sire.
Oh, I'm not going to make it. Are they going to beat me? Maybe they are. Darn it. That's all right.
Run. Yes, sire. March. Yes, sire.
Where are you guys going? You attacking my village now? Looks like they're going straight for me.
Orders.
What the heck? Are you attacking me?
Yes, sire. Yes, sire.
Wildest niche anthropology. Well, I think that they're... Okay, so I think that is one that I'm aware of, I think would be the... What the heck are you guys doing? Would be this stuff with connections between South America and the Polynesians, which is not really accepted, but I do think that there is some truth to that, if not it being essentially correct. I think that there has been at least some interaction between the people of Polynesia that went as far east as Easter Island, Rapa Nui, which is currently owned by Chile. Shout out Fabian, my boy, down in Chile. It's a few thousand miles. Like, it's as close as Rapa Nui is to some other very small islands. So the idea that they wouldn't have gone there is... Like, if you're familiar with Polynesians and their seafaring at all, it seems unlikely. The thing is, though, is that Rapa Nui was probably settled around 1000 AD, so maybe they just didn't get to it. But 500 years is a long time. And there's some evidence for that. I did a thread on that on Twitter as well. About... oh, they're just leaving off that side of the map. I did a thread on Twitter about some new discoveries that showed Kon-Tiki expedition. Yes, the Kon-Tiki expedition was really incredible. Some Scandinavian dude did that. Very, very interesting stuff.
Move quickly. Move quickly. Yes, sire. Advance.
And I think that's credible. I don't know if it's definite. I don't really believe in the ancient lost civilization theory, though I believe there's some stuff there. I believe that there's probably a lot of civilizational stuff that's under the water. I agree with some of what Flint Dibble said in that interview with Graham, or the interview, just him being a fucking asshole to everybody. I agree with some of what he said, but a lot of it I don't. I think that there is some credible stuff. We haven't searched a lot of what's in the ocean. Regardless of what Flint Dibble says, we just haven't. It's not true. That's why he didn't answer that specific question. So there's stuff under the ocean that would mean that it was there before the rise in sea levels, which is like at a time when there shouldn't be stuff there. Based on the traditional timeline. I have a stream in the back burner, which I'm going to do probably pretty soon here, where I want to watch together a documentary from 1989 about the lies that were pushed by the what's her name, Margaret Mead. Like, it's just not real. It's what she did. We'll get into it when it comes, but it's one of those things that shows how anthropology as a field and academics in general will be attached to certain ideological ideas, either because they are for their careers or for ideological purposes on their own. But in this case, for their careers. Like, you know, she being Margaret Mead, had massive influence based on her popularity in the anthropology field. And the idea that her thesis was based on lies, and it was not her thesis, but her original research to become a PhD, it just wasn't real. It was nonsense, unfortunately. And the indigenous peoples, the Samoans, the book was called Coming of Age in Samoa. They showed that this guy, this anthropologist, had his career destroyed because he dared to question, the sacred teachings of the divine Margaret Mead. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to watch that documentary together and talk about it pretty soon here. I don't know when. It'll probably be the next stream unless I come up with a better idea or something is like, time dependent. Something comes up that's like, oh, I want to do a stream on this right now, as does sometimes happen. Other than that, check out the podcast episodes. I think that's my best stuff. And the Patreon's $2 a month. If you hop in, you get grandfathered in. So when the price goes up to $5 eventually, once I am comfortable with the amount of stuff on there to charge $5, then you will pay $2. Margaret Mead's. So the documentary it's a pretty, it's not a well-known documentary. It's not very well done. It's an old documentary from 1988. It was shown to me in an anthropology class. So it's like, but it'll be great for you guys. There's another documentary that follows the Yanomami, or the Yanomamo. I don't remember if there's even a distinction between them, but they're sometimes said differently. The indigenous people of the Amazon. And there was one of my favorite cultural anthropologists did a lot of work there. And I want to go into that. I want to find that documentary. I haven't looked. I'm sure it's pretty easy to find, but that one might be even older, like from the 60s. What wild theory do you want to be true? I want the theory. I don't believe it, and I have to be honest with you guys that I don't believe it. I don't think there's enough evidence. Maybe there is, but I think it's probably not true, or at least there's elements of it that might be true. There's definitely elements because it's such a broad theory, this lost worldwide global civilization. I want that theory to be true because the theory, the civilization that is theorized by Graham Hancock is one that has values that are much more in line with human nature and mankind than our own, which our own culture I view as quite spiritually deficient, would be a kind way of putting it. And I want it to be true that there is another path. And I'm honest with myself about knowing that I want it to be true. What a great question. What wild theory do I want to be true? That is a great question. And that is true. I want the lost civilization to be true. I want also the Polynesian. I love the Polynesians. So I want that theory to be true, that they went into South America, where I also love. Specifically, I love the Mayans a lot. I don't know if you guys know that, but I love the Mayans. And if you didn't know, many of you do, this is a Polynesian necklace. This is a koru that I wear every video. I bought it from some women from Tonga. They actually, I went. They were just at a flea market in Hawaii, and which is another Polynesian island, not like different culture than Tonga, but in the greater like Polynesian cultural field or cultural family. they and I talked to them about Polynesian culture and talked to them about Kapu, and they were so happy to like have someone interested in their culture, and I felt, you know, amazing as somebody who loves these cultures. And they sold me, they like brought this necklace out of the back. I think they normally sell them, but they had one left and they were just holding it, and they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this special for you," and they sold it to me like half price. And I know that it was half price because like the prices were displayed on things and they weren't haggling with people. The price was the price, but I talked to them for a while and they were so happy that I was interested in their culture. And I also bought a piece of kappa from them, which I'll show you guys sometime. It's back at my house. And that's a type of fabric, or not fabric, but it's like paper made from like pulped tree bark, because they have limited resources on islands. And limited resources breeds innovation in almost any culture, which is something that's really interesting, and I love to have that. But yeah, it's a dolphin in a traditional pattern. And I'll show you guys that someday. If it were true, what level do you think they had? Bronze Age, Iron Age. So this idea of level of tech is kind of a misnomer, and I think it needs a little bit more of explanation. Different cultures have different needs, and they have different values. So they like, when we think of like, oh, if they're not advanced, if they don't have metallurgy, well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not advanced in other ways. So it's not about like what actual resources they have based on our own idea of succession of civilizations, like whether they got to Bronze Age, Iron Age, whether they had the wheel, but like what makes sense for them. So for an example of that, I'll say that the Incans never had the wheel. But the Incans didn't need the wheel. The Incans were up in the mountains. They had no domesticatable animals. I think llamas were partly domesticated, but they didn't have enough time to do it. And they're all up in the mountains going up and down. You don't use wheels, you use skids. Even the Europeans used skids when they went there. And when that's the case, then it doesn't make sense to judge that society based on the cultural level. And I don't want to say level because it implies like, okay, here's how I'll put it. What's it called? It's not linear. It's not a simple spectrum. How technology and civilization develops. It can go in any direction, and there can be different values and technologies in any culture. So it's not about whether they reached the technology that eventually led to our own civilization. It's about like what they did reach. And this is at the root of like cultural relativity and judging a culture by its own values, which when brought into the realm of moral relativity, which is often the case in modern mainstream anthropology and in mainstream culture in general, I don't think that that's good. I think that, you know, a lot of these traditional societies are practicing ritualistic cannibalism, things that I think are good that ended. But at the same time, as a tool of ethnology, as a tool of comparing different cultures, to me, it makes perfect sense to try to bring down to the most basic the standards that we're using to judge a culture so that we can actually effectively compare them. And that means not judging them based on the standards of our own society, but on how they judge themselves and understanding what those values are that they use. Does that make sense? I think I probably touched on this type of thing before. In Wales, we're close with the Fijians. They can join our local army regiments. I think they are the only non-nationals who can, and we get on very well. We both like beer and rugby. That's awesome. The Gurkhas can join. Well, isn't Wales... You say local army regiments. Is that like American National Guard? I'm not understanding what that is. And the Gurkhas from Nepal, they joined the British Army, right? Also, shout out to my fellow Celtic brothers, although Wales as Celts have been pretty well domesticated. No offense, Taffy. trade satraps and kingdoms on Horn of Africa and Berenice Troglodytica Troglodytica in Egypt are my first point of proof in link and trade chain. I think the old world and new had a link earlier than thought through sea trade by proxy. Yes. So this is the part of the lost civilization theory that I think may actually be true, is that there probably was some sort of link. I just don't know if it's to the level of like some global civilization, or if the cataclysm brought like the people elsewhere. Like, I don't know. But there's enough questions, you know, and the answers are not sufficient, and mainstream anthropology is pretending they are, and I don't like that. So for a global civ, do they have to be in contact, or with these links established, does it classify? So the theory from Graham's perspective, and other people have different theories on this, is that there was essentially a seed civilization, like what was Atlantis, and that civilization collapsed and like sent people throughout the world to spread their culture and spread knowledge of civilization, which is the progenitor civilization to like everybody else, like the Olmecs, the Gurkhas as Nepal. I love my Zens, not sponsored. Use responsibly. Or don't, I'm not your dad. No, just kidding, yeah. Be careful. I will never be sponsored by any alcohol or tobacco or nicotine or gambling or anything. Not doing it. Not doing it. I will be sponsored by NordVPN or something like that. Anything I believe in. And by JD Sturker, Axios Fitness, who is my first sponsor. Episode's dropping next week, but you can join his fitness program on my affiliate. And I'm in there, in that fitness community. Subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, and hit that notification bell. I never tell people to do that, but if you guys want to like get notified when I drop a new video, if you do, you know, you don't have to, but if you want to, remember to hit that. And it does help me out in the analytics. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate it. And like this video, please. That helps as well. It really does. That's all I ask for. And $2 a month if you want it. If not, no big deal. Yeah. But if you're interested in supporting the channel, I don't need money. I just... likes and subscribes and discussion is plenty. But if you can afford $2 a month and you want to, then I'm eternally grateful for that as well. But again, not necessary. There was that one day, JC will probably remember, when everybody just started donating me $20, and then 4 people gave me $20, and I was freaking out in the live stream. Like, what are you guys doing? Stop sending me this much money. Which is funny. But yeah, I make money from my other businesses, so this isn't like... I want to get the money up in this so that I can concentrate more on it, but and do more things and hire people and whatever, but, you know, we'll get there eventually. And we'll get there with ethical means and not, you know, scamming and promoting crap that doesn't work and all that I don't want to be doing. And that's why I love working with Axios Fitness. Guy's fantastic. That's what business used to be. It used to be relationships with people, and that's what it should be. And I hate the, you know, people think of business as transactional, and I get it. It is transactional. It's by definition transactional, but that doesn't mean there wasn't, you know, real relationship building in it in the past. And that's something that we've lost, and I wish we still had. Many such cases. The Gurkhas can only join the Gurkha regiment. Okay, but for some reason the Fijians can join any Welsh infantry regiments. I don't know why this is. Oh, so your infantry regiments, your regiments are split up in the different countries of the UK? I don't think I realized that. Like a Welsh infantry regiment is Welsh. It's not just British. So like everybody in there will be Welsh. That's very strange to me. Like as an American, I was in the Marine Corps, in the U.S. Marine Corps, and for us, it's like, you're from your part of the country, and America is huge. And then a lot of times, people's first interaction with people from other parts of the country, not for me because I moved around quite a bit, but is in the military when they meet other people. A lot of these guys grow up in all black or all white or all Hispanic communities. In one local area, and then they end up in boot camp, and they're with people from everywhere in the country, all different races, religions, and then we all just make fun of each other until we're all friends. It's great. It is really great, actually. I loved it. I loved my experience and meeting all these different people from across the country. And now I am now I'm a massive racist with the most diverse friend group. Just kidding, I'm not racist. A lot of my friends are racist, but I'm not racist. And I'm not saying I'm not racist like I'm defending myself. Like, oh my God, I'm so not racist. I don't care if liberals think I'm racist. It's just that it is factually true. I'm legitimately not racist, but it's fine if you are. The regiments are local. It's just the Parado. I didn't know that. What about like if you're in some specialized unit, like the paratroopers, fucking British paratroopers. Ethnically, I'm Irish, by the way. Which I'm not saying that in like a plastic patty way. I mean, like my uncles helped fund the IRA and shit. So I have, the British paratroopers. Not the biggest fan of them, but if you're a British paratrooper or a Royal Marine, you're going to be in a mixed unit then, right? How does that work? More bandits. Build livestock. Trading over here. Build a sheep's pen over here. Oh, what did I just make? Livestock trading? Oh, I just made 2 of them. That's stupid. Also the Navy. Okay. The paras and Marines are special forces and mixed. Yeah, right. That's the difference with you guys. For us, our regular paratroopers and regular Marines are not special forces. They're regular military. Like, yeah, the Marines is like a little bit harder generally, but they're not special forces. Yeah, I would never handle special forces. The Marine Corps was hard enough as it was. But they're so that's the difference between us. So the Navy is mixed as well. That makes sense. You can't have the Scottish. Can you imagine that? What about the Isle of Man then, and like other small areas? Is the Isle of Man like they don't have their own regiments, right? I'm gonna wait for them to get over there. hides. Upgrade you. Upgrade you. A lot of hides. Gonna turn that into leather. Eventually, we'll turn it into shoes. The Manx have a TA or reserve. Oh, okay. Can you not join the regular, like, so if you're in the Isle of Man, you just can't join the regular army? That sucks. Oh man, I got too close. They're coming after me. Bring them over. Good afternoon, Para. How you doing? Other guy from the Twitter. Run away. Tells me up here how much livestock I need, and now I can buy 3 more of these, and I'm gonna start buying sheep. Just a few at first. Put another storehouse here, and eventually make that only take in wool and stuff. Oh, I need a Weaver's workshop. I'm gonna make a dyer's workshop. Here, I'm actually gonna rework all this. We're gonna move the forester's hut to there. We're gonna move the hunting stall just so they're like closer to each other. So right there. And move the hitching post stable to right there. Supplies will have to get picked up later. And then this stable, I don't really need two of them over there, so we're going to put this right there. Those supplies will get picked up eventually. Yeah, typing is work. No worries. Typing at work. No worries. You don't even have to. You don't have to respond if you don't want to. I'm just asking you random questions that don't need to be answered. Hides. Firewood. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit too. I don't need to do that right now. These guys are producing hide for me, which is then going to go straight to this tannery, which is going to produce leather. Destroy the marketplace stalls to make new ones. I just overmake the logistics. Bunch of hitching posts. The sheep. Oops, don't have any sheep yet. Also gonna make. Oops. Gonna have to get this saw pit on actually making stuff. Mountain Blade. I played Mountain Blade. I played all of the Mountain Blades. Big fan of them. I don't play video games as much anymore. But I do enjoy me some Mountain Blade. Got back into it recently for Vikings Conquest DLC. Oh, I didn't even know that. Or wait, are you talking for the new Mountain Blade? They had a DLC? That's awesome. I might get back into that. That's something that I could play here as well. You just overlay roads here, which is pretty nice. Okay, so I'm making this village. This is the enemy, but they're not going to attack me until I attack them. I don't really want to attack them. Might be some bandits popping up eventually. Manor lets us do taxation. Saw pit makes so many logs. I'm gonna make another gathering area. Actually gonna not make that there. I'm gonna make it here. Go to our logistics tab, make a hitching post. That's where I'm going to buy another ox. Snipped bull. Oops, made those too close together. Fire broke out. What? Damn it. How does a fire break out in a rainstorm? That doesn't make any sense. That don't make no sense. It's hellfire. Yeah. It would seem. I want to finish that up because I actually want to move it to the other side so I can make. I'm going to turn everything off here except for the except for anything needed for the weaver's hut. Just going to be the wool. And then even the finished goods, I want them moved. So not the finished goods, but so linen and yarn are what's going to be made here. Sorry, what's going to be made here? Flax. So we'll let it have flax and wool, and that's it. Anything else is going to get moved. Sometimes the placement gets a little funky, but it's really nice how it's done like this. I'm going to make some with a little bit of a bigger backyard because I'm going to make them into... Oh, I don't have enough wood right now. That's okay. Got all these new spots. Clean this up.
Gotta smooth that beam over there. Come on.
Come on, people! Get to work!
Bandicap sighted. Okay. Where? Right there. Yeah, let's see how good they are. Sure, they're garbage. Don't need to be good. Snuck in. Snaked them. I need the resources in the town. Make sure there's not another bandit camp. There isn't right now. Oops. Why is there no one in the hunting camp? Oh. A lot of leather. I can sell some of that leather as a finished good. I'm close to upgrading some of these guys. Yeah, I can upgrade them. Maybe I won't sell them yet. Okay, now I have sheep. More guys on fuel. Leave the tavern eventually. We're gonna put the tavern right next to the church. That's good. Click on the marketplace. Yeah, we're doing really well here. Hunting camp does not need a stall. Now I'm going to make more of these with larger backyards, and these are going to be for... these are going to make us some... what is it called? Carrots. Forgot what carrots were. So these, the plot size matters.
We all know what that means.
If I get 1,000 influence, I can take another. Oops. Okay, area empty. Oh, makes sense. Oh, now I want to make a. Go to the industry tab. We're going to make dyes, which eventually is going to help us to make finished goods. It's December. If I do the vegetables now, they will be planted in the spring.
Splendid work on the good sirs. We all know what that means.
Oh, I got a bunch of empty houses. Yeah, we can make more. Okay, so we're gonna upgrade some of these, and they're gonna give us a tax. These people are needy. Actually, I'm going to make Burgett's plots here. First, I'm going to widen this road, though. So these new development points, you get them limited. So I kind of need to work out what I want to concentrate on here. And I'm going to get another one of these. So I'm going to get another one of these. Which one do I want, though? I think I might want one with... Oh, none of them have good mining except for his two first ones. Maybe this one. Let's see how the fertility is over here. No, not good. This one has... Stone. What does stone even do? You don't use it very often. Maybe one with a rich berry deposit? That's this one. Well, I can make my beer here. With the barley efficiency. Just have to go to specific areas, which is fine. So I'm going to concentrate on farming here. So I'm going to get the heavy plow. In the orchard. So now that these are level 2, we get some of these. Well, I don't have malt yet. Okay, we're going to start with shoes. So we're going to be selling shoes. The tailor's workshop is next, but not yet. Oops. Do not have wealth. Crap, I did it again. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sell firewood. Sells for 1 gold each, but it'll fill our treasury. Storehouse filling up? No, it's not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off this thing from holding... Oh, it must be because they're just resources in, resources out. But I'm going to have it not hold flax and not hold wool. So they won't get it. But I don't think they have any. Anyway. So the sheep. Stable there. The weavers. I just need more. Treasury. Oh, that's the yearly king's tax. Crap.
Meat so tender, it practically melts in your mouth. Come and see for yourself.
All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your comment from Twitter. This game looks so aesthetic. Do you have a favorite building? Yeah, it's very, very aesthetic. And this is on low settings because I'm on my laptop, not my computer. I like the houses when they get to level 3, which I can't show here. But the church, I mean, look at that church. You upgrade it eventually, but it's not upgraded yet. All right, I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back later with more stuff.